would be in because I just got a new camera, but I'm still filming on my phone. Um, yeah, but today we're having like a girl dinner and chit chat with me because it's Sunday, so I always get pretty spiritual on a Sunday, pretty embodied in that side of myself. Ah, but it's been a really good and peaceful day. And I was sitting in my car like an hour ago, like driving around with Lady. Lady's my dog. For those of you who don't know, this is Lady. She's also eating dinner. I like scatter her dog food everywhere so that way it like occupies her mentally a little bit. But I felt so present and I could feel like little parts of my soul coming through, which I've been doing so much work on. I work with Farine Ash at the moment. Like I just do her course and like some of her stuff. And it's been so good for me because I come from like a very wounded and unhealed place, which it just like is what it is, right? But in high school, for example, like I remember I asked two guys to prom and they both said no. And in junior year, like my crush asked me to prom, but then he like asked some other girl, and I was just like reflecting on my relationships. Like I had my first boyfriend when I was 22 or something like that, and the guys who liked me, I didn't like them back, but then the guys I like put them on this pedestal. And so Farina's like a relationship coach, and she's been like very valuable to me personally. Like definitely go check out her content. But recently I've been having a lot of struggles in my own relationship. It's very, very difficult. But I just found myself today, like, just so grateful to be in the moment and grateful for where I am and grateful for the experience that I was having in that moment. Like, it felt so good and it felt so peaceful. Like, and for those of you who hadn't that had that like experience, I hope you do because I really come from a place of like pressing, trying to make things happen at like whatever cost. And I definitely make moves out of desperation too. I mean, made. I don't really do that anymore. That's why my life has gotten so much better. Hi, how's it going? Um, but yeah, very, very trying times, you know? And the things that I'm really trying to fight as well is like I said, I like push things and I make desperate moves. So like last year I gave someone $20,000, right? And then I spent the next year paying that off because the person like it was for a business and it just didn't end up working out. Like this guy was just not a good business person at all. And that's when I really learned that I need to rely on myself, not like completely self reliant. Like I have my community, I have my friends, and all that sort of stuff. Hi, everyone. Hi. All good. How about you? I am good. I was just talking about that. Like I feel very present. Um, hi, Bacon. Hi, Emerowski. I can't say anyone's name. Hi, Kentasha. But yeah, I just have found so much beauty and like owning the parts of myself that are very dark as well. Like the fact that I pursue things, the fact that I make like moves out of desperation, like it's been so good for me to take accountability for those things and be moving towards like a place where I can just be and be honest about what I want and be at the place where things just feel settled and things just feel not easy, but more aligned, right? Because, like, for those of you who don't know my story, like, I say this a lot just to show you, like, exactly what I mean. Like, not even to flex. I'm so proud of it. I really am so proud of it, but just to show you, like, where I came from and how unhealed I was even 2 years ago. Like, I still am pretty immature. I'm only 27. Like, how can you not be? But 2 years ago, I weighed 55 pounds more than I do right now. Like, I was 170 pounds 2 years ago. I also was making 3.5K a month this time last year. And now I make 12K a month. Like there's just been these really big dramatic shifts in my life that tell me that I'm going in the right direction. And a lot of that has come from like not working harder, but working more in my energy, working less from desperation and like working more from my values as well. So if you're struggling with that, like it's so normal, and like I feel like the biggest thing for me was like admitting all these things in myself that I didn't really want to and seeing this side of me that's really hard to see. Hi from Brazil. Oh, that's so cool you're from Brazil. Where in Brazil are you from? I have a friend who lives down there who I work with a lot. Sorry, but that's not easy to pronounce my name. No, it's not easy to pronounce your name if I got it wrong. Maybe I got it right. No, I definitely got it wrong. But your name is probably very beautiful and I wish that I could know how to say it. Um, I had someone on a live yesterday tell me that they were like 16 and they were looking to pay their mom's bills as well. Like if any of you guys are in that situation with like business stuff, feel free to ask me questions about like your business. Obviously, I make 12K a month, right? I'm not here like saying that I'm a millionaire. I work for companies like between 3 and 10 million dollars a year. That's like my clientele, that's my client base. So if you have any questions about starting out, I've got you. If you have any questions within that range, like I do pretty much general marketing. So there's a lot of questions that I can answer, and then some sales as well. So definitely make sure to like be utilizing me as a resource, because that's the whole reason why I started doing YouTube. I'm not comfortable on this channel. I'm not like naturally good at like a ton of content like this, especially long form just talking. So make sure to be interacting if you have any questions like that, even if you're after the live. Like, I love to answer questions like that, because that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. Like, I do feel like I make enough money for me. So this is more like, I had a bunch of people asking me questions, asking me for my time. And this was like, I wanted to be here for other people. Okay, we got US and then we got Brazil. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing US and Brazil. So which one are you? A little bit confused, but we'll roll with it. But yeah, definitely be utilizing me as a resource, and go check out my $1 course as well. Like, I started that because I talk about so much on my channel about investing in yourself, and like, I pay $400 to $600 a month for coaching, like minimum. I think right now I'm actually paying around $900 because I have a relationship coach and I have a business coach, and I'm investing in other things too. So maybe it's around 1,000. I really have no idea. But I I wanted an easy intro offer for people who wanted to start investing in themselves and starting to invest in their business, because that was so important for me taking myself seriously. And I'm not out here trying to make a ton of money off of people, right now. Like, maybe one day I'll make this my full career, but right now I'm not interested in that. Like, for now, I just want to be able to help people who are, like I say, like a younger version of me. So that's why I love building out these resources. So go check them out, or let me know if there's something else that you want me to build or any feedback that you have, because I'm very open to going back and fixing it too. So yeah, thank you so much for like everyone who has checked out my course as well. That means a lot. And I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but I feel like it's important to talk about like my why behind doing this as well, so you guys understand like where I'm coming from. Because when I do these lives and stuff, that was like very moving to me, because that's very similar to my husband's story as well, where that kid was looking to pay his mom's bills and take care of her. And I think it's really beautiful that he's doing that, but it's very, very hard to do that as a 16-year-old. So um, I know that people are just in all sorts of tough situations. So I'd love to be able to help, like, however I can, make people's lives better and easier. That's like the whole reason why we're here, right? We're here to heal and then help other people who are on the journey that we were. Like, that's why nothing goes to waste, right? Like, nothing goes to waste. Nothing you go through ever goes to waste, because you went through it in order to help someone else, right? That's the most beautiful thing about being in this life, about being in pain, about the soul coming here to suffer and the soul coming here to love, because you get to experience pain and then help someone else through that pain. And there's nothing more rewarding than that feeling. Like, I think about sometimes whether I'm on the right path, and then I meet someone who's literally gone through the exact same thing that I went through, and it like lights up my soul that I'm able to help that person in that moment. So that's why I state my numbers as well, that I lost 55 pounds and then I make 12K a month, and like, this is what I used to make, this is what I came from, because it's so important for you guys to be able to determine, is this someone's advice that I should take or not? Like, right now, I wouldn't take marriage advice from me. Marriage advice is like, my marriage is very hard. Maybe I would take like growth advice from me and like how to feel better in yourself. Like, for sure I could do that, but we all know what we're experts in. Like, I talk about how I'm married, but I try not to give specific marriage advice very much, because I struggle with that. But when it comes to money, when it comes to losing weight, as someone who like used to force things just way too hard, that's who I'm talking to, because I used to psycho diet, right? And I can think of like 5 people at the top of my head in my life, in my circle right now, who are doing that exact same thing. And I feel like I was put on this earth to help those people, because the way that I speak to them, it just lands, right? Like, I have someone right now, they cycle skinny, fat, skinny, fat. I went through that for like 11 years, at least 11, 12 years, right? And all that pain feels worth it every single time that there's someone who's going through that, that's unbalanced, and that I can tell that they're unbalanced. And I'm like, hey, like, wait, I've been there. I know how to get through this. This is what I would do. That feels so good. And I don't even give a lot of weight loss stuff on this channel, because for me, at the end of the day, it was more of an inner journey. When I fixed the inner stuff, the outer stuff just happened. But I feel like the same thing happened with business, except with business, with food, I had too strong of boundaries. With business, I didn't have strong enough boundaries. Ladies going crazy back there. What the best, Helen or Neymar? I don't know. I never been to Neymar. So I can't speak on that. But when someone goes through like all this pain that you're going through, all this suffering that you're going through is literally for a purpose. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about life. And like I said, with weight loss, I had too strong of boundaries. Like I wouldn't eat certain things because I would be really restricting myself, and then I would binge when no one was watching. And so I just needed to learn to level out and not make food the focus. When it came to business, I needed to be more disciplined and more self-reliant, not waiting for someone to save me, and make less decisions out of desperation, and just be more boundaried in general, and just be able to be like, hey, like I've got this, I'm going to figure this out. It takes so much self-trust. And honestly, I started my business in a point where I probably wasn't ready, but at a time where I also felt like, hey, if I'm going to do this at any point in my life, I'm 22. I was 22 or 23. I actually think I was 23, about to turn 24. I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. I have my parents' support. They both backed me on this, and they said, you know what, girl, you go for it. So let me do this now before I have every reason in the world not to do this. And it's been so transformative for me, but there have been very, very low points, but it's been such a healing journey at the end of the day. And I've seen that in every area of my life. I said this was girl dinner. I haven't even eaten. Let me show you what I got. So I have this like, so this is like a vegan cheese. It's literally such a girl dinner. Pita crackers from Trader Joe's, eggs from Trader Joe's, and then this vegan cheese. And a lemon drop martini. I never claimed to have a perfect diet. I just eat what I like, and I don't eat too much now, and that really works out for me. And I'm very social with food as well. Laura, you're so nice. Okay, that's very sweet. You sweet. You speak Portuguese. Obrigada. That's all I got. I went to Portugal. Went to Lisbon. It was really, really nice. I also went to somewhere else too. I can't remember though. It's the place where they have like the green wine. I don't talk about this either. I lived over in the UK for 6 years. So I went to school over there. And for 3 years, I went to school. For 3 years, I worked. I worked 1 year in private equity, 1 year as a business analyst, and then 1 year as a behavioral design consultant, which is like applied behavioral economics into marketing and healthcare change. So I did a lot of work with the NHS. So I actually traveled all around Europe too, which was super fun. And I was very blessed to have that experience. So I went to Portugal, I went to Spain, I went to France, I went to Germany, I went to Croatia, I went to Israel. I'm 11. Oh, you're so cute. I love that for you. Where else did I go? I went to Italy a bunch because my best friend's Italian. She still has a bed and breakfast there. Shout out Murano Lagunare. Go check out Onda Marina BNB. That's where it is. Amazing place. Amazing place for seafood and everything. But I've been to a lot of different places in Italy. I've been to Rome, I've been to Sorrento. Italy's one of my favorite places. And then I can't think of Switzerland. Went to Switzerland like a few times. Went to Bern, and I went to a bunch of places when I went to Bern. I went to Lucerne, and then I also went to Geneva. So lots of cool places. Oh, Brussels. I went to Brussels, Belgium, Ireland, Scotland. Been there. So yeah, just was like the Euro traveler person. Obviously, just been to a bunch of countries, but it was an amazing experience for me. I don't talk about this either, but when I was 16, so my house burned down, and that was so tough. But at the end of the day, like my mom sold the house after that. She sold the land, and that was the money that let me go to college and travel. And so at the time, I like your video. I like your live. Oh, very sweet. Thank you. But at the time, seemed like so devastating to me that my house burned down. But at the end of the day, it really just worked out, and now I look back and I'm like, "Wow, I would not have wanted to have that any other way." And I'm so grateful that my mom was able to sell the land and just be able to give me an experience that I know that, like, I don't take it for granted, and I appreciate my mom so much. I love my mom so much. I could cry. I love both my parents, like, so much. They're my besties. They're not perfect, and I wouldn't want them any other ways. Like, I feel like I really won the parent lottery. Like, I remember that one time I drank too much, like, in college one day, and then or maybe it was, like, my first year of work, and then the next day I was hungover, and I'd never been that hungover in my life because I'm really not a huge drinker. My mom stayed on the phone with me for, like, 8 hours, 8 or 9 hours, just, like, did not leave the phone, like, all day on the phone, just, like, in silence. "Honey, are you okay?" Like, once in a while. And now I did tell her at the time I had a stomach bug. I didn't tell her I was hungover, but she did accept it, and she was there, and she would have been there even if I told her. I was just like, "Yeah, you're an idiot. Don't talk nonsense." Thank you. Um, can be an idiot sometimes, do talk nonsense sometimes. It's okay. Know your flaws, but I don't think that was nonsense because my mom is amazing. So if I was talking about my mom, can't really be nonsense. Um, but yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end the live today. This was like a little bit more of a get to know me, but like just know that wherever you are, it's like exactly what you're supposed to be. That was kind of the theme. I didn't have any notes or anything. I was just speaking from the heart. But like when I think about all these experiences that I went through, there was like absolutely a reason for it, and that's what's so beautiful about life. That's what's so beautiful about growing up and and making mistakes and then fixing them and then making more mistakes. Like it's just we're all here to do that. And I think that's a really beautiful thing, and I'm so happy to be a part of it today. Like I feel like just very grateful for my life in this moment. Okay, I'll see you next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my stuff. I'll see you next time. Bye.